and this will be the 14th episode of the ESOU podcast, featuring special guest Deltia's Gaming. I don't think you need an introduction, because you're... But please, do introduce yourself for perhaps people who may not know you.
Yeah, first, thanks for having me on. I appreciate you reaching out and
Thanks for
having me on. Yeah.
Thanks for coming on. We appreciate that a lot.
Yeah, so basically back in about 2014, I started a YouTube channel. Then shortly thereafter, started a Twitch. I was really passionate about Star Wars Republic, started some videos on that. Beta came out with the Elder Scrolls Online. I remember hitting puncturing sweeps the first time. I'm like, yep, I can heal myself, I can tank, and I can DPS on one character. Going out picking Sky Shard at Bleak Rock Isles, hooked, done. So I'm like, yep, Star Wars Republic, we'll see you later. And then it was throttled down from there, and just, I took a break, left for about 2.5 years, and came back recently, almost a year now. But mainly just covering Elder Scrolls Online, making guides, is try to what I try to do, and try to be helpful and then entertain on the stream. And so, yeah, it's been at it since about 2014 now.
Yeah, I remember watching you in about 2015 when I first started playing. I had the had all the builds. Had the there's a DK build you had with the heavy attack with that fungal grotto set, and I was like, what on earth is this? I've never seen anyone use this set.
Oh, the Spawn of Mephala?
Yes. That was just when like Hrothgar came out, and I was like, I want to play it, Stan BK. Let me Google builds, and of course the first one that comes up is Deltia. And yeah, I think everyone knows you. Everyone must know. Everyone who's Googled
that's not true. That's not true.
No, come on. Everyone
that's true. Come on.
Builds will know who Deltia is.
Yeah, for better or for worse, I guess.
I think for the better.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, if it helps people get better at the game, I'm all for it.
Yeah.
Definitely, as like a sort of player that wants to play hard content, I appreciate when people provide some, teaching.
Yeah,
That's
this game is
useful.
It's radically different than any other game. I mean, the 5 buttons and ultimate, and there's really no ceiling. You start learning how to light attack, weave, and bar swap, and canceling. You can do all sorts of tricks, and I love that you have to manage your resources. And you can heal yourself, and it's not like on 30-second or a minute timers and you got 30 abilities. It's simple, nuanced, but you basically cannot master it. And when you do one, you just go to the next one, and it's just always constant learning. I love that about the game.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, it's simple to start off with because you've got your 5 skills, but then when you add in light attack, weaving, and the movement as well, and yeah, sky's the limit. Absolutely.
Man,
did you start playing when it came out? ESO came out.
Me?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I played in the beta, but I was still kind of hooked on Star Wars Republic, and I just started exploring, making guides. I thought it was a big deal to solo a dolmen and just do these sorts of things. But I had this teacher mentality, and I'm just going to create videos. I never intended it to be anything good. And then Zoss started featuring my stuff, and then it blew up from there. I just meant it as kind of like a hobby that gave me something to do with my time instead of just playing the game. And trying to be helpful. And then it just kind of snowballed. Zoss really helped me out and gave me attention, posted my Ignition Sorc. When that got posted, that just, because everyone was looking for that. And then, me and Cypher kind of came up, and Fangrush and Outcast and all of us old heads. And it kind of became a big deal. It was fun.
Yeah. I mean, Outcast's nickname is still EU Deltia.
yeah, it is.
Deltia's the OG.
I remember, I'm turning red now. I remember when we met. We met at Zoss HQ, and that's what all the people that from the EU were saying to him. He's a good guy. Yeah, we had some fun together.
He's great. Yeah.
Man, talking to you, listening to you about what you were saying brings back so many memories from the past. Just like you, I also started in beta, but I think it was around late 2014 or early 2015 we started hearing about you, and then the video we started watching your videos. I remember you and Cypher got together for that, I don't know if you remember this, the dueling video.
Yep.
Where Cypher was teaching you the whole thing about dueling or how to initiate dueling. Remember, like, you hold block, you jump up and down twice, and then the other person does it, and then you commence the dueling. I think you guys were on
Nightblades.
yeah, Nightblades, Magblade
sure.
and Stamblade, and both I think of you had Engine Guardian at the time.
Of course, I still wear Engine Guardian.
So the meme about Deltia is that you always pick Engine Guardian and you always wear Footman. That set from Dragonstar Arena, which I mean, fine, it was good in like 2015, but you know,
Yeah, the Engine
definitely got
Guardian
your
thing.
use out of it. But
But it's funny because you see some sweat lords and PvP still using it. So
yeah, it's
exactly,
a solid set. It's a solid set.
we always had a theory that so no one used Footman until Deltia builds came out, right? And no one used Mother Sorrow until Outcast builds came out. And because these are bind-on equipped sets, we figured that you guys had just been farming the shit out of it.
just selling them.
Yeah, and you were like, right, okay, we're going to wait until we've got loads of this stuff to sell, and then we're going to drop the build, you know, post it on the guild store. We're going to make big bucks.
No, I'm not big brain enough to do that. No.
You know, a lot of people think us content creators do that. Like, we make the build,
make
and
that,
we like,
yeah.
we buy up everything, then we make the build, and then we. I've never done that.
I bet someone has. I'm sure someone has.
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean,
probably.
You
who
should do
knows?
it. You should do it just as a test.
That'd be scummy. I mean,
hopefully
kind
some
of.
new sets come out here pretty soon. I bet.
Yeah. But yeah, I feel like a large part of this podcast will be nostalgia, at least for me, because just going off of as I mentioned earlier, the videos, you got a lot of my friends into dueling just from that video.
Really?
Yeah, you did, because everyone was like, "Oh, that's how you duel. Oh, that's how it goes. Oh, this looks pretty fun. Let's try it out." And people started dueling each other in Zerodead in like random locations. Obviously not like legend stuff, but like just casual dueling, just people who aren't sweaty, but just dueling. And then for me, I actually just like you, I kind of thought of it as a hobby, making these videos or showing people what to do or how to do this, and then I never thought about content creation. But then one day something changed. You quit the game.
Okay.
Yeah, and then you made this video. I'll never forget this video because I
Okay.
watched it. Because everybody was talking about it.
Oh, so the burying the Templar one.
Well, okay. We talk about that too. No, I mean, this is
my
the
favorite.
guy who made the amongst the many first guides. There's Lefty Lucy, there's Cypher, there's whoever, and Deltia made a lot of guides too. I remember his animation canceling guide, the very first one, where he took a bunch of people, random people, and I think it was in Groutwood or something, or the Rift, and you were teaching them how to animation cancel. I remember him getting a lot of flack for that because how he's teaching exploiting.
Yeah.
And I was like, no, and I learned from that too, from him and Lefty Lucy about animation canceling a bit more. But yeah, then one day you quit, and you made this video saying, I forget the title of the video, but
Farewell, I think. Yeah.
yeah, and you gave advice in that video, and I took that advice. I think I told you recently too, or like last year, how that advice helped me. You said, try for a year and see how it goes, and I did that.
Yep.
And here we are later, and it's been really cool. So I really want to thank you for that, man.
Well, yeah. Thanks for saying that. Look at you. You're giving back and crushing on YouTube and made a huge community and streaming. So, yeah, man. I appreciate you saying that.
What
Yeah.
we need to do is get him in the gym now, make him a
Oh,
gym rat.
I've been in the gym. But wait, why did you quit?
Why did I quit?
Yeah, why did you quit?
Oh boy. I know I've kind of rehashed this before, so other people have heard it before, but basically I had a son in 2016 and I didn't know how to be normal, how to be a father, and how to manage a business successfully. So if you look at my track record, basically from 2014 to 2016, it was just up. When I had my son, it was so radically different, the transition in my life. My priorities all shifted. I'm very selfish. And I know that about myself. Having him, I was like, you need to get your crap together. And that's kind of the catalyst for why I started Gamer and a Gym Rat. I frankly got burnt out with gaming and didn't know how to balance everything. I didn't have the passion. I didn't have the spark. And my number one priority in my life was getting healthy physically was the kind of the goal, but mentally, I got a lot better. I was always anxious. I didn't sleep well. I had some of these issues from the military, and I'm not going to get into pity party time, but I just didn't know how to function normally. I didn't go anywhere. I didn't do anything. If you go back and look at those 2016 videos, look at the color of my skin. I look like a different human being because I was tunnel vision, which sounds great, but it's not. If you don't balance relationships, socially, taking care of yourself, the wheels start to come off, and it did for me.
Okay.
Yeah. I hope you're listening, Nefas, because this all sounds like you.
I'll be fine.
And I have to tone down too. I'm not opposed to hard work, and in fact, you're like, I can just work harder. I can just work harder. Well, this is a marathon now. It's not a sprint. You got to know when to sprint, but every day is not an 18-hour sprint. And if you do, you will burn yourself out. There's only so much battery you have. Anyway, so I burned myself out on it, and that's kind of why I left. I deleted my Twitter. I had 19,000 followers on Twitter. Deleted. Can't get it back. I almost deleted my website. I almost turned my website off. Almost deleted my YouTube channel because I kind of wanted to burn the boat. I'm like, you can never go back. You can never. I knew I probably would go back eventually, but I'm like, I just got to get my head on straight. I got to learn how to be a dad, a husband, balance everything, and my health, and physically and mentally. If I'm anxious, I'm not having fun with my life. What's the point? You could have $1 bazillion. You could have all the attention in the world. If you're miserable inside, you're anxious, nothing matters. So I got to get calm, peaceful, be excited about who I am, what I represent, and what's important to me. I don't have that right now. So I just brick by brick, every single day. And yeah, I got in shape and all that. That doesn't really matter in the grand scheme of things. You got a six-pack abs, great. Congratulations. But mentally working through the process of how do I get back to have a highly functional day, being disciplined, also relaxing, take the foot off the gas. And I learned that through a lot of hard work. But yeah, if I was going to get any advice, it's a marathon. And I was sprinting the whole time and burnt up.
Yeah.
Well, I guess. Go on.
How come you got back into it? What's the motivation?
Oh God. Okay.
I mean, we know you spoke to Grimsforge, which we've seen
that was it. And so, I was working for the federal government at the time. I have a master's degree. It's not a brag, but just I can always go back and get a job, right?
Great.
So I was doing this job stuff, and it was basically like everyone around me just they weren't gassed up to go. It was kind of like going to check in to work, and I was making great money. Had all these benefits. I'm like, I cannot do this. If the entrepreneur is just inside of me. And then Grimsforge happened. I always want to make a difference for vets, and I almost started a gym, but I just didn't have the capital to do it. And we go on that podcast, we do that podcast, and it led to the Fisher House, Ronald McDonald House for veterans. Opened up, I'm like, you know what? Let's do a giveaway before I turn any monetization stuff on to get some credibility and say, I'm not going to charge you nothing. I'm not going to, you can't even donate to me right now. So I did that, and we raised $10,000 for them. I mean, I cried at the end of the stream. I think that's the only time I ever cried on stream. It was so moving to me that I'm like, man, we winged it. We winged it. And this many people gave a crap. So I basically stayed awake for 36 hours. I couldn't go back to sleep. And I woke up the next day, and I looked at my wife. I go, I got it this time. Give me one more chance. And I can always go crawl back and get a job. Not going to burn any bridges. But I just can't look back on my life and go, dude, you pissed it away. Look at Cypher, look at Fang Rush, look at Outcast. That could have been you. You could have been on top. But you pissed it away by not managing your health and mentally and giving back and doing all those things. You can influence way more people instead of being at a desk for someone else, doing it for yourself. So she's like, all right, green light. It's like $10,000. I got no social media. No one helped us. No one marketed for us. Nothing like this. So I'm like, that was a spark. I'm like, yep, all systems go.
We've been waiting here for 2.5 years. We were just there. We were logged in on your Twitch. Like, is he going to be live? No? Okay.
The video before that farewell one was the Magflar funeral. What happened to that video?
Oh, boy.
People want me to ask you about that. What happened to that video? It's gone.
Oh yeah. We deleted that.
Why?
When I started applying for jobs, I went back through and I'm like, I got to delete these because they find out. I'm serious. I looked at myself, and I actually might do a reaction one, but as funny as it is, I looked at myself there and I was like, you are not well. You can just tell I'm not well.
Okay.
Definitely not well mentally. And it was funny, and I reacted, and now when I give Zoss criticism and feedback, I do not do it that way because that burnt a bridge for me. It frankly did. And it's nothing wrong to criticize the company, especially when you're a consumer content creator. You just can't freak out like a spoiled, entitled brat. And that's how I did it. So unfortunately, that was a hard lesson to learn. People got a lot of kicks out of it. And that really got me mad, I should say, about YouTube in general. That I spent 15 minutes doing that video, yet I can spend 40 to 80 hours figuring out a build. And I went back and I'm like, okay, I got 200,000 views or whatever. I just ranted with a shovel in the back of my house.
I mean, I think it was pretty funny.
I
mean, I don't think it was that bad though.
It was entertaining.
I don't think it burnt the
when
bridge.
you put loads of hours into something and it's not as successful as something that you put 10 minutes.
I know, but I don't think it burnt the bridge though. I don't think so, because
I mean, it
when
was funny,
you were streaming again, like everyone from devs to community manager like Gina, they were all so excited to see you back.
I mean, I don't necessarily interact with them. I don't see who's in chat and stuff. The only time I do is when like one of my mods tries to expose them and gifts the sub to like Gina Bruno, or I'm like, guys, you gotta let them learn what you're doing.
You came back on YouTube streaming, and I remember seeing so many familiar names and dev names, community manager names. I was like, yeah, man, I don't think you burn the bridge.
Oh,
I think they understand. Players get passionate, content creators especially. So because who cares more about the game than a person making the living off of it, right?
I was so fired up at being.
I think that's fine.
I would have fought somebody. Like, let's go. I would have fight. Go down. This is my Templar. How dare you take major amending? I will punch you in the face. Good thing I was isolated in my basement.
Yeah.
That's pretty funny.
But I think people took it as, this is funny, this is a joke. You're not like actually raging. Well, you are raging.
Oh, I was raging.
What I forget the change. Major menu removal and it was. Was it
the
shards
ritual? Didn't stun anymore or something?
Oh yeah, the shards.
Lumi shard. Oh, I love my Lumi shards that drop block. Oh, that was Yeah,
it was something about like I think it was it Roble, the dev at the time, the combat dev.
Yeah, Roble was.
Yeah,
still...
he said something. Yeah, he was still there. He said something about like, oh, the Templar needs to be like a house. Like we're like you can't come into the Templars or something. I don't know, something about the philosophy behind the Templars. Yeah, you remember that? Yeah.
Yep.
So.
Channel focus.
They made it more like tanky-ish kind of, but not like no stun, no major mending.
Yeah, the stun is what the major mending, and they gave it to the warden. That's what I was upset about. I'm like, well, you're letting my class for another one. I don't mind if you have a nice, powerful warden and stuff. And we all went and tested it, and that was an awesome experience to go to the studio and see how passionate those folks are. And I always, kind of give the other view of the developers is like, if you're a 1%er, you're like, why don't they do X, Y, and Z? They have all these metrics and analytics and data to say, no, 99% of the people can't do this, don't want this. We're not going to cater to that, which is kind of, why Cyrodiil maybe is what it is. But yeah, that was a really good experience. And yeah, the Templar burial I was fired up.
I think it was great.
Right. Is it unlisted or is it actually?
No, I think
deleted?
I deleted. I'll upload it unlisted or do a reaction. In fact, I want to do a reaction video. I found this just ultra cringe where Cypher and I battle rapped.
Oh yeah, I remember you battle rapping with Cypher and Kev do it.
All of my raid team had that on their soundboard on TeamSpeak. Right?
It is so cringy. So I think I'm gonna watch it and react to it. Just we'll have to do the Templar burial video. It's on one of these old hard drives I have laying around here. I'll find it.
Good. Yeah. I mean, if that was lost, my God.
Oh no. We got it.
We got it. Yeah. But I've always felt it being in this industry. I mean, I'm not really in this industry. I've got like a normal job as well. But do you feel like it's a risk playing ESO when ESO potentially has a shelf life? Like, do you worry about what happens when ESO comes to an end? Because if you're only playing ESO, I mean, I know you play other games as well, but is it something that worries you?
Yeah, and the meta strat is to do multi-streaming, and so you can take your community to other things. Mm-hmm. And that's kind of, you have to slowly do it, and there's all these, processes and ways to do that. The problem is when I go play other games, I'm just not fired up about them. Or like if I stream them, I'm reading text and I can't read very well, so it's a miserable experience for the viewer. And I'm like, I'm going to play this game. I played New World for 2.5 hours. I'm like, I got a big hammer on my butt. I can't, I'm not into this. I got to go do go back to Elder Scrolls Online. We fire up a battleground. It's a lot of fun. Ultimately, they're going to turn the servers off. But I love Bethesda and BioWare products, and there'll be something else new and new. I'm at the point where I'd tell someone else investing-wise, don't put all your eggs in one basket.
Right.
I got one basket, and I got one egg. Right now, it's the Elder Scrolls Online. Truthfully. But you want to branch out and stuff like that. It's just what makes me fun and interesting on Twitch is I'm just so fired up. It's no BS. I just like playing the game. And same thing with YouTube is I like sharing and being enthusiastic what I learned. I got to find that second thing. But everything I touch, I'm just like, play Skyrim for 2-3 hours. I'm like, okay, just walk around with I can't do it.
Yeah.
Okay.
I went and played SOTOR again, actually, with another content creator.
Yeah, so he released a video, is it today?
So she's kind of in the same boat. I don't want to put words in her mouth, but she really just covers Star Wars: Old Republic. And she blew past me when I was dark. Her videos are awesome, but she's crushing it, just covering one game. And she's kind of like me, just singularly focused on one thing. Because when I go play another game, I'm like, well, I could be doing this. I could be, getting this mythic on EU server. I could be doing
I'm the same. Yeah, I get what you mean.
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, what is your plan then? If Elder Scrolls Online turned off today, what would you do?
Elder Scrolls Online turned off today. I go play Star Wars: Old Republic. Starfield might be my next big game. That I do a lot of videos on because I love Fallout 4. But sci-fi, Mass Effect, my favorite series ever. I cannot wait to see what Bethesda does with this. But I would just jump back into Star Wars Republic. Not interested in Final Fantasy, not interested in some of the other things. So that's probably what I do. I'm just some MMO guy at this point. I can't do shooters. I suck at them, and you don't want to watch me just death flop and get killed, turn around the corner, and Call of Duty is miserable. So yeah, probably just jump back into Star Wars Republic, but yeah, it's good to get out of your comfort zone, try new things though, which is what
for sure
I should do.
Absolutely.
Realistically, though, Ollie, I mean, we're approaching the 10-year mark, or at least the official 10-year mark of ESO, right? I'm willing to bet there's at least another 5 years after that.
Oh, there's a 10.
For
there's
sure.
10.
I mean,
10.
yeah. 3 years ago, I was like, it probably has 10 years. You know what I mean? At least.
Oh, yeah.
So, I don't think they're going to be shutting down anytime soon. If they do, well, whatever.
No, but I mean, we'll probably still outlive it. I mean, I'm only 26 or whatever. I'm going to hope I outlive ESO.
No, you got to die with the game.
We got to have plans for afterwards when ESO dries up. When that cash cow has run out of milk.
It's doing good. It's doing good, but yeah, you always just transition when the time's right. I think it kind of chooses you, just like ESO choose me. And but I'm not in a hurry. I always had this mindset of you gotta do what Cypher did. You gotta jump to this game and then blow up or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Someone once told me, don't be happier than happy. If you're happy and enjoying your life and you can afford things and provide for your family and you're growing slowly or whatever, you don't have to rush life. And I keep having to tell myself that is, are you enjoying what you're doing? Are you providing good resources? Are you interacting? And yes, okay, we'll keep doing the thing. It'll find you.
Right. I think a part of that is definitely people start comparing. Even yourself as a content creator, you unconsciously or even consciously compare yourself to like other people.
Oh, yeah.
I think that's pretty dangerous. I had a talk with Ollie a while back. I think it was on our podcast together, first podcast together.
Yeah.
about do you ever get jealous of other people, blah blah blah, and I'm just like, nah. That's probably
I really
not
do.
a good.
I
do?
so bad.
So-
Yeah. Because I mean, I play a lot of ESO, and I'm not bad at it. In fact, like I don't know whether you saw this was during your dark period, but I won this chair.
Oh, that's
Okay. Calm down.
so-
He won the chair because he beat my team.
Yeah, so
On Quick
was
Con.
it EU versus NA dungeon.
Yes.
yeah, the QuakeCon thing.
got lucky we didn't think of it.
And so, like, you know, when I see people coming out with these like trial builds or dungeon builds, I'm like, come on, I know how to do a dungeon and a trial build. If I released it, I reckon no one would look at it. So I get jealous of that when I feel like people with less experience maybe do better, get more out of stuff.
Look at my old builds. They were way off meta. They're goofy, but people loved them. And I think it has to be applicable for the average player. So when I do builds, a lot of times, I don't do the sweaty trial stuff. I don't have a team. I don't play in the evening. So I try to make things like dungeons, overland. You can buy it, maybe Cyrodiil items, because the average player, either you're in the 1% that knows what to do and what to run, or 99% of you, you probably want to run something else because you can't pull it off. It's like Kinross. Can people keep up the 5 sacks, light attack weaving, doing just crazy bar swaps? You know, probably the vast majority of people cannot do that. Including myself. I'm not some God's gift to the game. I mean, I look at my uptime, it's nowhere near 100%. So I try to give people those facts like, hey, this is really, really good at the top end. But if you're not God's gift to light attack weaving and bar swapping, here's an alternative for you that's just set and forget deadly strikes or something like that. Burning spell weave.
Yeah. No, absolutely. Yeah. And I feel like I am out of touch completely because, I mean, I'm only hanging out with like my 12 players in my raid group.
What's your guild then?
Pathfinders from PCEU.
Pathfinders. Okay.
We've been going since 2016. We got the EU first Stormbringer, which was Kind's Aegis. Hard mode, no death.
Jeez.
We're not as good as Hodor. We're very casual. But
Is Hodor still around?
No, not anymore.
No.
I mean,
No,
some of the players are, but not the
some
guild
of the
itself.
people play still. But like, I think they kind of disbanded around 2018, 2019.
Yeah, around there. No, it's
Something
2019.
like
Elsewhere, Godslayer.
Yeah, they got their Godslayer and then they disappeared off the face of the earth. Much like Deltia.
It's like
Maybe
Deltia.
we just need to get like Outcast on a podcast or something, and then
There we go.
We'll get him on.
bring
Yeah.
back Hodor.
Recently, I saw that you cleared a trial. Was it Vet Sunspire on EU?
Yeah, so
You went with Lee.
Sunspire.
Yeah.
Yeah, so TC and Lee and I, Tank Club, we linked up, and this Freemason guild is super friendly. We got this. I had never done Vet Sunspire. I usually just do the normals, like I said, because it's very easy to get in, and I just don't have a team because my hours in the evening, I just hang out with my family. I do other things. So I started over on EU, and it's been the best thing because the hours that I play, Cyrodiil's popping, trials are popping, and we even pugged a trial just doing some normals. It was so easy to put together a group. I was blown away. But yeah, the veteran Sunspire, the team was really organized. I was a DPS and I'm not that good, but it seemed really organized and just kind of like a heavy DPS race. If you did that, the mechanics weren't that intense or something. I wasn't tanking it, but it was fun. That Pacific trial is just the magnitude of the dragons and stuff is so cool. Plus the sound effects with the voices, and I'm like, like that reverb sound. It's just a beautiful.
They used to
trial.
get stuck from beta up until like a year after it came out. They got stuck, especially on the ice boss.
Oh,
Like,
the first.
Yeah, the breath sound would just play constantly. Forever. Yeah. So you're lucky you missed out on that bit. Yeah, the fix for that. So if it does happen, it might happen again. It's good to know what the fix is. If you open your champion point menu.
Champion point menu.
Yeah, because I think that has like a different sound thing. It like mutes the sounds, everything else. So it like resets
Yeah, I remember that.
sound files. Yeah. Oh boy.
Yeah.
Oh boy. If you play on EU, oh my god, we need to hook up.
Let's do it. Yeah, at Deltia's gaming.
Deltia's gaming. I know the person that took the @Deltia username. on
Oh
EU.
yeah.
Oh yeah, people do that.
Yeah.
Before I went,
do you know who he is?
who is it?
I have screenshots of the individual, but I don't know his last name and social or anything.
Okay. I know where he lives.
Wait, what? What do you mean?
I used to play with him back in the day.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, maybe he should change his name.
Yeah, he changed his name to @Deltia when Deltia stopped playing.
I mean,
think he
like,
still
change
has
his
it,
name
I'm not
back.
sure.
Yeah, he still has it. I got add Deltia's gaming, but
Okay. Do you want @Deltia? I might be able to sort something out.
sure. Yeah, I'd love
Okay.
it, but I'm not gonna freak out about it if I don't have it.
Yeah. But yeah, so we've kind of gone over your beginning journey. We went over why you quit and why you came back. What was it like coming back though? You know, I don't know if anyone's asked you this, but what was it like? I mean, 2.5 years, that's, in ESO terms, that's a long time. Like, entire metas, entire cycles of changes. I mean, that's so much change in such a short amount of time. When you came back, was it overwhelming? Was it?
Oh yeah. It was very, very difficult because the game was radically changing that entire year too with hybridization. So when I was getting caught up, my account was so screwed up. Like, just crafting writs. I had items on a gazillion characters. I needed to level like necros. I had so many hours. My website was a complete mess. I had to start my socials over. My YouTube was a complete mess. So there was a lot of one-time things that I needed to do to get the thing off the ground. So there was a lot of very long days. And then as soon as I got my head wrapped around things would change again. And I didn't have the foresight like I used to when I could read patch notes and kind of predict outcomes of things. Like meaning, oh, this gaze has set this, everyone's going to be using this for PvP. I kind of started getting that. It's still a little cloudy. Where now I feel like I have a good idea of the top end PvEers, not myself, but what they're doing, solo people, what PvP is doing, and then the general person, what they can use. So now I can kind of get that predictive, what might come. Where I was in the clouds, and to play in the game was quite difficult, especially PvP. Bar swapping, animation canceling, things I took for granted, and then just knowing what to do. You're like, there's a gazillion dungeons. There's a lot of trials now. What's the good gear sets? Why are they good? And then, the builds I would look at, they'd be like, use this one set. Well, what if I don't have that trial set? What's an alternative? And so it was actually really good to get my ass kicked, for a lack of a better word, because I can go back to the beginner mindset. That's the most important aspect of a teacher that they can have is you need to go back to the beginner. What is it like not having craftable? Like, I don't have 8 traits. So when you recommend a crafting set like New Moons or something, it's not in the books for me. And so that's kind of, I'm going back and doing those things. I started a new thing, which is like 100,000 gold builds, budget builds. That's a lot of fun because,
that's not going to get you much on EU. I mean, have you seen the prices? That's
oh my God, outrageous over there.
Oh, the prices must have shocked you too. I mean, coming back.
When I went to EU, I'm like getting tripods. I'm like, tripods?
70, 80k a stack for
what?
It's mad.
Yeah, it's
So that's the downside of the game, and what I think they could really do to improve is they err on the side of exploration and unintrusive user interface and stuff. But every day in my chat when I'm streaming, people are like, what do I do? They don't even know a clear path to level, what gear sets to get, how a clear path to craft. Oh, crafting rates are really important. There's so much in the game now, and it's kind of like when I go play Destiny 2. I'm almost so overwhelmed. I'm like, well, why even play the game? Especially when you throw champion points in, and there's no champion point cap. Okay, there's 3,600?
Yeah, I've got 3,600, yeah.
Do you really?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I got every achievement as well.
You have every achievement?
Yeah.
Deltia's just sitting over here like...
I'm a casual, man. Good God. I'm a filthy casual, playing like a couple hours a day and streaming and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
But
I don't think it's worth it, though, to be honest. Yeah, I mean, my hands literally, like, my knuckles are screwed from like clicking so much.
Do you like doing the quest then at your level?
I don't read them at all.
That's fucked up.
Click through them and get them done
That's fucked up,
possible.
man. You should at least read them. You know what I mean?
You just space bar. You're just
Bruh.
like,
Yeah. I do not read them at all.
so you do the quest just for the achievement. You don't actually do it to, like, to enjoy the
I have no idea about them all.
Jesus.
See, I can't do the quest. I shouldn't say I can't, but I don't enjoy them because you're like, here's the biggest, baddest boss ever, and then you meet them and they're dead in a second. I'm like, there's no way to scale it up to crank it up where it's like really, really tough.
Yeah, I mean, they've done a couple of things where, like, the boss will fly away at a fixed health percentage, but that still doesn't kind of scratch that itch. I know what you mean.
Yeah.
It still feels a bit too easy. And this is something that I want to say campaigned for. I haven't really campaigned for it, but I definitely feel like ESO Overland does not prepare you for endgame content whatsoever. I feel like...
One Tamriel, right? Before one Tamriel, like, yeah.
For sure. Like... If all you've done is overland quests and then you want to jump into a trial, I feel like that is a huge gap.
There's really no
bridge.
And I feel that's kind of what ends up locking out a lot of people from trials and endgame PvE and PvP as well, because the game isn't hard on them. Like, I get you want to include a lot of people and you don't want to make things too hard, but I feel like there needs to be a little bit more gentle push in the right direction to help people play the game better and get more out of it when they reach a time when they can do the end game.
Yeah.
But how do you do that for PvP? That's very I think PvP is a bit more complicated. Because PvE at least has some sort of path to something. PvP is just kind of, okay, here you go.
I think you need a lot more population. So Battlegrounds has new players and sweat lords, but they don't encounter each other very much. Where if I jump in there on a new character that has low MMR, I'm just gonna dunk on everyone, and it's actually not fun for me either. It's like, I don't want to ruin their experience.
Right.
Walk away with 35 kills, and then they're like, I'm never doing a battleground again, because the population's so small who enjoy it. I'm one of them. That it's just. You're gonna get dunked on. You don't break free or CC break, dodge appropriately, use your cooldowns. You're just dead. And then with Cyrodiil, do you remember back in the day, Lobby Cyrodiil was popping?
Yes, people were. What happened? Well,
all the max level people came in with their pimped out gold builds.
But that was always kind of there. It wasn't.
The cheesy Lobies.
Oh yeah, that's always been there since like 2014, 2015. People would remake characters over and over just to
twink them out,
right, just to play there. Now though, I think just the population in general has declined severely to the point there's no one in the Lobby campaign, there's nobody in the standard campaign, and sometimes even on weekend prime times there's nobody. At least on PCNA, there's not even like 2 bars on Greyhost or the main campaign.
Now, EU is way. You can get IC. Imperial City gets pop.
Yeah.
EU, by my estimates, has definitely at least 3 times the population of PCNA for sure.
Yeah. Cyrodiil's pop locked from about 5 PM till 1 AM, like UK time.
Yeah, I mean,
crazy.
People think I'm crazy or like wrong, but based based on my experience going to EU, and based on what happens with EU every patch, like things break a lot more frequently. Why is that? I don't know if you were here for that, Deltia, but the trader bids bugged out on EU when they implemented a new multi-bidding system. And that's evidence to me that there's so many guilds.
People bidding.
Yeah, there's so many bids going on. On PCNA that same week, nothing bugged out. So the difference in population is huge, for sure. But I think.
So EU, you get a lot more. Like if I start a new character, I'm leveling it, and I do a bunch of BGs. It's much more time before I get into that super high. Everyone has a gazillion procs at MMR, so it's much more graceful. And same with low PvP BGs is really helpful. I think the key thing that's missing in PvP is just incentive, and incentives like getting Emperor is the coolest multiplayer experience I've ever had. You just can't top it. Once you get Emperor, you're like, okay, what, I want to get Grand Overlord for some dye? Right? I'm going to go sweat down Imperial City sewers just for some Telvar to make gold. Okay, that's a good loop. Or Battlegrounds. something, some emperor costume, some emperor title, some mounts, something that drives you to play over and over and over. And I do just because I like the gameplay, but I think it's, and why I think this is relevant is every time it's on the Endeavors Battlegrounds, the queues, boom, light up, people are in them, you know, a lot of squishies in there. I'm like, oh, you got 18,000 health, God bless you.
Yeah.
But so I think we need more incentives, specifically transmute stones. There should be no reason I can do a sweaty battleground and just, you know, break my keyboard frustrated and I get one little baby transmute, one little baby, or I go do a normie Fungal Grotto 1 and it takes me 2.5 minutes. That we don't need a gazillion development hours to do that.
Right.
You know, just a little bit more incentives to do that.
I'm glad you brought this up because I talked a lot about this weird reward structure or lack of reward structure. It's not just for PvP either, it's also in PvE.
The trials as well. There's almost no reason to do trials other than score.
We're even crown,
really
and we have the issue of the crown store sometimes encroaching into the reward or this absence of a reward structure. So, for example, let's say, oh man, that mount looks really cool. How do you get it? You gamble with crown crates. There's no like, do this achievement or do this dungeon for this mount or blah blah. There's like nothing.
Right.
And it's even worse for PvP, like you said. It just comes down to just enjoyment in the game, which I think is pretty dangerous because the enjoyment in the game is derived from the game working for people. So if it doesn't work, then what's left? There isn't really much left. So I definitely agree with you that rewards definitely need more at all levels in PvP and PvE, for sure.
I don't see why they have to be mutually exclusive. You can sell badass mounts. It doesn't matter what the mount looks like. It could be a princess pony. It could be Barney. It does not matter.
Popular,
yeah. Oh yeah, everyone would love that. Yeah. You could have the Sorrel horse or whatever. You could have the stupidest mount. It would be the coolest thing ever to achieve if it was tied to it. You would see someone with a Sorrel house. You'd be like, oh, dude. Or like, what about like World of Warcraft and other MMOs? Have these world bosses with an exclusive, crazy, low drop chance for some of that stuff. Like if you, I tell you what, I always say this, but if you put Molag Bal in the bottom of Imperial City, like he is, spoiler alert, you put a ridiculous, freaky mount that he drops from once in a gazillion years, everyone would be down there trying to farm that Molag Bal in that huge basement of Imperial City sewers.
I mean, that's what happened with the scam pet and the skin, right? For a time. But then they increased the chances and, well, everyone got in. Well, there you go. It's over.
And boom, dead.
Yep, pretty much.
Get your one kill, die, and you move on. And that like, I remember the developers telling me this. They go, when we saw your reaction when you saw Molag Bal, because I streamed it live, you completely freaked out. I'm like, it's Molag Bal on the bottom of the sewers. Of course I did. It's the coolest thing ever. It's a dead zone. You know, it's disappointing. So I love that, experiencing that for the first time, seeing it, I'm like, and then people are trying to gank me. It's high risk, high reward. It's awesome.
Yeah. As soon as you kill it, the room starts filling up with red, and you're like, oh shit, what do I do?
And a ganker all of a sudden, bang. No, I'm like, dang it.
Yeah. I actually ranted a lot about the whole lack of rewards on a different podcast I was invited to, like a couple weeks ago, Tales of Tamriel with Lil the Stiff Doom. I went with Skinny Cheeks. And we actually got to start talking about the Crown Store and the lack of rewards. And I had this theory, man. I think there's one person in charge of all the rewards in the game. Because there seems to be some sort of hidden budget, man, behind the scenes. You know what I mean? Like,
oh, you mean they're not cranking enough out, is what you're saying?
No. They just have this. I feel like they just have this weird budget for rewards. So, for example, in what is it? In Kain's Aegis trial, you got a skin. Right, but for the No That Hard Mode speedrun, unlike the Godslayer and Sunspire, you didn't get a mount. You got a memento. Next trial, you got no skin, but a mount. It feels like they're just kind of like doing these weird balances and checks with rewards. It's like, bro, like that's my theory, man. I think there's one person in charge of everything. It's kind of weird. And the whole transmute thing, I'm glad you brought that up too, because it made no sense to me. Like if I pull up the ESOU website and you type into the FAQ section transmute crystals, you'll see a list of what offers with how many transmutes, and it's like what was a weekly trial gives 5.
Yeah, a weekly trial.
You have to get 11 other people to raid with you at the exact same time for the exact same trial.
Or you do a normal.
Or you do random normal on each character every day, and you get 180 transmutes.
And a ton of experience. Don't forget that. A gazillion experience.
Exactly. And BGs, like you mentioned, you have to get first or second place to get that one transmute.
Yep.
Yeah, it's because of this
last one.
Yeah, 1. And I'm like, what is going on with this? You know what I mean? What's going on?
To be fair, the transmute system's amazing, and same with that RNG curation system.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's like giving the game a whole new lease of life.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, tons of people are coming back too. It's amazing how, and because when I play on NA, I'm like, where is everybody? And then as soon as the event happens, you have to go to these places, and there's just a gazillion people. I'm like, oh, they're pretty much in dungeons and houses or something like that. You don't see them overland. But I remember before I left the game, about 2017, I would go to, like, let's say Rivenspire. I wouldn't see a soul. I go to Rivenspire, Grotwood, Greenshade. There's people on random way shrines running around doing quests everywhere. Yeah, so this game is very, very healthy in comparison. It really has grown.
Yeah,
for sure.
And they've done a great job of making those old zones have something to do in them. Like those Fighters Guild, Mages Guild quests, Undaunted quests. Like they're to-do delves in like all the old zones. It makes them worth doing.
The mythic leads. You gotta go to the
Mythic
old
leads
zones and find the leads.
Yeah.
Oh, mythics. Oh, no.
Oh, you don't like mythics?
Oh, my God. Oh, no.
Which ones have you farmed?
You don't like mythics, or like you don't like farming mythics?
I do. So I think it's fun when no one knows where they are, and like server-wide scavenger hunts. It's the funnest, because if you were the first to get that lead, you're like, oh my God, I'm telling everybody. But like that, everyone on alchemy mats and Shadowfen and stuff like that, I'm not a fan. So I'm not a fan. I'm a fan of doing combat stuff. Like Destiny 2, they have grinds, but it's all kill stuff. You know, I don't want to dig up something. I didn't go to school for archaeology. You know, I'm not into that. I'm looking at me. By the way, I'm an archaeologist. No, good Lord. And so I'm not just brushing. I'm like, oh my God, click the button. Of course I fail and have to redo it. I'm triggered. But yeah, mythics I do not like at all. I like the getting them and some of the combat related ones, like going around getting in chests in Cold Harbor from Arcans and stuff. But at least it is a one and done. I just think it's kind of like a inflated content loop that you don't get to pick what you want to do.
Right.
If it was 10 leads, you get to pick 5. Okay, if I'm a harvester person, I want to go do that, or I want to go craft something, but the fact that it's like pigeonholes you into things, I really don't want to spend 2 hours in Cold Harbor getting chests this weekend. I don't want to do that.
Yeah, no, I
get
that.
it. Yeah, I think everyone has kind of a similar sentiment for sure.
That would totally work. Like, I mean, the Endeavors, you only have to do 3 out of 6 of them. So
yeah, that system I don't even really pay attention to be honest with you. But
same.
Yeah, I think a lot of them we do by accident. Although this weekend we finally get 16,000. If you've been doing your Endeavors every single day, you now have 16,000 coins.
Is that now? 16,000?
Yeah, that's now. That's the Radiant Apexes this weekend.
16,000 seals.
Wow.
Endeavor.
So if you've been a good little boy, a little girl, and you've
I'll get
every
6,000
single day, you wake up, you set your alarm in the morning. So I'm going to do my Endeavors today.
You know, people do it though, because when they are certain,
I bloody did it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That means whatever's the Radiant Apex now, we're going to see them everywhere.
Everywhere. Yeah, it would be interesting to see how many you see actually. Are people that were like really committed to doing that? If it's like a one-off thing or if it's just everywhere.
Yeah. I mean, I've spoken to a few people who say they've missed a lot. I feel like most people have missed about 20 or 30%.
Yeah, you get sick or you take a vacation or something, you know, you're going to miss some. But a month from now, you probably see a lot of them.
Yeah. For sure.
I just don't care enough about it. Or the crown crates, really. I mean, I don't know. There should be more rewards in the game. Period. You know? I think players experiencing other games right now, like Final Fantasy, they're starting to bring these ideas back. Or like these expectations back. Which I think is a good thing.
Okay.
You know? A lot of ESOU players went to Final Fantasy. A lot came back. Not everyone came back. But I think people have these expectations now. You can see the Crown Store burnout. And I talked about this with Lotus and Skinny. There's a burnout. Just like there's burnout with combat changes, there's inevitably burn out with Crowdstore. Like I said earlier, like if I want something cool, what's my only option? I have to buy it or gamble for it. Essentially, you're gambling, and that's kind
Yeah,
of
you can't even buy it outright.
No, you can't.
$200
Exactly.
from out, no problem. $200, no problem. But you can't even do that.
No, you can't, and that's grating on everybody's nerves. Not just players like you and me.
You can sort of buy it
You know?
out. You can do it with the gems now, right?
Yeah, but you'd
still
have to
that's
buy
gonna be crazy.
a lot.
Yeah.
I don't know if
You have to
Deltia
buy
knows.
the same crates over and over again to guarantee that you'd get doubles and then get the gems. you know?
Yeah, I don't know if Deltia knows this, but there's a website called ESOCrownCrates.com. It shows you the
Okay.
rates. It's like literally like a sort of a. It shows you the rates of the drops.
It's an add-on, right? And it like tracks the drops that you get, and then you upload your data.
I don't know how they track it, but
Wow.
the drop rates are abysmal. It's like 0.0007% for this rating thing.
It's outrageously low.
It's really low, and I think that's grating on a lot of people's nerves because there's no other alternative. Like, okay, sure, put in these awesome mounts in the store, but what else is in the game? So you're faced with this choice of, well, I can't get cool stuff. That's going to grate on people's nerves, I think.
So Final Fantasy, you talked about that. Have you played that game?
I've watched people play it. People keep asking me to play it, to make content for it, or stream it, and I don't know. I just...
What's the big appeal? People always talk about it. I'm like, I don't get it.
So I think the big appeal... I think from what I've seen so far, the 3 big appeals are, well...
If you're a massive weeb.
It kind of knows what to do. Like, it has a big emphasis on storytelling and also PvE raids. It's not like ESO where they try to do everything. You got PvP, you got solos, you got PvE, you got housing. It's all over the place, and it's kind of it's less diverse, but it's focused. So I think people like that. The second thing they like is, I think, communication from the company. Did you know that the servers are crashing because there are so many people queued up to join the servers? There were so many people, in fact, that the company said, we're not gonna sell our game anymore.
That's insane.
Yeah, they said, we're not gonna sell the game. We're gonna stop. We're gonna temporarily not sell the game on any Steam, online, whatever. We're not gonna sell it. And I think there's a lot more communication over there between the company and the players, for sure, compared to other games. Like even ESO, I think, could work on this communication a lot more. I don't know if you saw Gina asking about that on Twitter, right? Deltia.
Yeah.
She said, "Oh, how do you define communication?" And the third big appeal, I think, of Final Fantasy XIV is rewards. For everyone always mentions the rewards. You get mounts. Mounts are dropping like candy over there.
Oh, really?
From doing they're playing the game. Cosmetics, mounts, everything. Compared to ESO, that's like, it's obviously paradise.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think Star Wars: The Republic does something really unique with their gearing system, which is if you are just a solo player and you want to do questing, you're a hardcore PvPer, you're a PvEer, it all progresses basically uniformly. So now you can't get the top tier, I don't think, in the next one, but I like that because there's 300 gear sets or whatever it is now.
Right.
You jump in the game, how in the world do you know?
Yeah.
And they don't archive them like Destiny or say, I like seasonal idea. I always thought that would be fun. Here's 6 monster helms you can use for competitive things, like Battlegrounds, no proc PvP. Here's 6 monster helms, here's 4 mythics, here's 25 sets, and maybe that's a cuckoo idea, but I like the seasonal cyclical things. Because look at Destiny 2. You're doing the exact same crap over and over and over all year. Every 3 months, though, that season bar goes, and you're getting rewards as that season bar progresses. It gives you that dopamine.
Right.
You're always achieving things. Because when you're like me or you guys' level are probably higher than me, it's like, oh, cool, I got champion point.
Yeah.
Oh, cool, I got another Divine's chest of false gods. I have nothing to basically collect individually. I can do some groups and do veteran dungeons, but that's why I kind of resort to PvP as my end game, because PvP has that kind of no ceiling. You can't beat it, you can't accomplish it basically. Even though there's no rewards and you can't really make a whole lot of gold, it's just kind of fun to jump in there and go toe to toe with other people.
Yeah, it's not as repetitive as doing the same trial on rails every single night.
Every single night. And it's probably a social thing, I imagine, for you folks after a while. It's just, you're just hanging out with the friends and just, making fun of each other if you die or, something like that.
Right. The incentive is ultimately communal or social.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah, because you got all the gear. You're on the leaderboard. I have all the gear. Yeah. I'm on the leaderboard.
All the achievements.
So what do I do? If there's that 0.0000 crown drop rate from that vet hard mode last boss, maybe I'd increase my DPS and go try it.
Yeah. I mean, they do like, there is a mount for Sunspire and a mount for Rockgrove, but I don't know. But like, you get it after 4 or 5 months of raiding, I guess. And then you're done again.
Look at the events. They're always coming back up. There's nothing new with them.
Mm-hmm.
So Star Wars Republic, I keep going back to this game, and the reason why is it has a much smaller development team, but they add stuff to the game. They have 18 seasons of PvP, ranked PvP, mounts, exclusive equipment that you can only get through that, titles, everything. So I know it's possible. And those events, they keep adding things to them. So there's always something new to collect even. Maybe if it's not a new voice-acted quest, there's some new armor set or whatever. And they have a gazillion cartel coins is what they call that.
Mm-hmm.
But their cash shop is more intrusive than ESOs. So they're still making money, and that's fine. You're not running a soup kitchen. You're running a business just like I am. But give me a little bit of both. I'm happy to purchase stuff outright. I'm happy to buy. I like buying Sigic, Order, and Mage's Guild. I can't stand doing those things. No problem. $30, whatever, you got it. Nope. Yeah, no problem. I'm getting 8 hours of my life going picking that little portal in my stupid skull. Like, God bless you, Zoss. Here you go. Here's your paycheck. But the other stuff, it's like, fine, you want to do that? Great. Let me buy the mount outright, or let me be able to earn it. Because usually time, as a business owner, you want either time or you want paid customers.
Right.
So like if they're watching me on Twitch, you may not be able to donate. Now you'll give me Twitch Prime. I understand that. Your time and attention, cranking my numbers up in views means I can get access to more sponsorship. It's very valuable.
Mm-hmm.
Same thing in the game. If you're playing the game a lot, you're likely to tell everyone you know about it. You're likely to get more people being paid customers. And so the time versus actual money, I think, is something they're missing out on. The Endeavor system, crank it up or do something where it's not capped. People want to play 18 hours a day and crank out seals. God bless them.
Yeah.
I think that kind of ties back into whether or not it's intentional. They tend to focus on a cyclical behavior of players. Because everything from like the curated system, the RNG curated system, to, well, just pretty much everything, just kind of like encourages this behavior of, oh, you can leave the game and come back to the game.
Yeah.
Which I think is smart, because I think cyclical players tend to, at least as a customer, buy more things rather than the long-term players. Like, for example, if I'm a long-term player, I know I can buy crowns for gold or for player gold. But returning players or even newer players that don't exactly know what's going on, a lot of people still don't know you can buy crowns with player gold. So what do? You're comparing one person buying crowns for two, get that gold, you're also comparing two people buying crowns. So I think I don't know if it's intentional or not, but it seems that way to me. At least as far as the rewards and the systems go,
Yeah, I mean, it's a business at the end of the day, I guess. But
yeah, I get it. But there's some things I politely and strongly disagree with.
No,
I don't think
burial.
Maybe I'll do it, but I just think some things shouldn't be monetized, or if it is going to be monetized, offer an alternative to the player. I think probably the biggest offender recently was the Armory System. Like
that, it's not. What about it?
I mean, the table's free, but the assistant you have to pay crowns for.
And then the armory slots. You have a total of 8 slots you can buy, but that's only per character.
Does not account wide, yeah.
Right, and you can't use the assistant in places where people would, gear swap. such as on console, without the lack of because they don't have add-ons like Dressing Room or Alpha Gear or Wizard's Wardrobe.
Oh, you think it pushes those folks to more
yeah, I think so. Yeah. So I think some essential things, like, or at least how I view essential things, shouldn't be monetized. It should be kind of a given, But
yeah, I mean, it'd be nice if they did them like the chests from housing. Like, you can buy it with crowns if you want a shortcut, or you can buy it with Tova, you can buy it with RIT vouchers. Different ways of buying things. So I think certainly, like you said though too, like having people invest their time can be just as valuable as them paying straight up, for sure. You have to think about it in the long run. Absolutely, like the recommendations.
You need that hamster wheel. You got and I think their game is jump off the hamster wheel, jump on, jump off, jump, because you'll see it. Person's been gone 3 months, 2 years. Hey, I'm jumping back into ESO, and I always ask him, what game are you coming from, or what'd you play? And so usually when these big announcements and expansions come, you get just floods of people, and then it'll hit that dull point. This, where it's like Q4. And it might be just like a DLC with some quest or zone. They do that, they're gone. And then you have that 3-4 month kind of lull point, and then it starts picking back up again. And that when New World hit, man. Wow.
Did you play New World?
Yeah, so I played it for about 2.5 hours on stream. I'm like, I can't do this.
Oh, what happened?
I just didn't like it. It's like the Dark Souls combat. And I knew, I'm like, within 2.5 hours, I'm being forced into crafting. I go, oh, okay, I know what the end game's gonna be. I'm just gonna be chopping down trees. I did that in Ultima Online in the 90s. I ain't trying to play like that. I'd rather go pick up alchemy mats. That's actually peaceful and calming for me to go run around Cragmore and just looking for Columbine.
Make the big bucks, yeah.
And I just thought it pigeonholed you. I didn't like the colonial pirate theme thing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it was more about light attacking than it was using your abilities, and I just didn't like that system. And so I'm like, yeah, I'm going to pass on this. But man, my metrics dropped across the board, and it gutted in PCNA PvP. I mean, it just gutted it. That's when Dark Convergence hit too.
Oh boy.
Yeah. It was a real low point. I mean, I loved it on my Necro, but
that was such a bad timing, making BG's deathmatch only and having Dark Convergence. I mean,
people freak out about the deathmatch only going back to objectives, and I just seen people super fired up about that. I'm like, that doesn't make sense to me. From my perspective, I love the objective ones. I know people are going to flame me for it.
There's like two camps of thought with that. Or two factions, I guess. So, and of course, the faction that thinks objective BGs, including myself, are not exactly conducive or promoting PvP exactly, like player versus player, due to various factors or reasons, like the map design, or the fact that the layout of a death or battlegrounds objective match or whatever, what have you, is a 3-way battle. So, for example, you can have 2 teams going at it, but the one team is going to finish the game just kind of holding onto the chaos ball or flipping the flags while fighting anybody.
Yeah.
So that's the one camp of that, and of course, it tends to be the minority because the more end game players or experienced players tend to prefer just killing. To a point. Although I think some people recognize the fact that you need to have objective BGs or some kind of objective mode to like have a easier transition for players who are not as good into PvP. So I get that. So the other camp is, well, people just really like about the objective BGs. So I don't blame them. It's whatever. It's okay.
More tactical, more varied.
It's okay to disagree about it.
I love chaos, and people are like, "Oh my god, you're a tank!" I'm like, it's just fun and different. But I could do deathmatch all day too. It's just and to Gina's point about communication, at least they were open and honest about that. They looked at the metrics. Obviously, they didn't share the metrics or what they're seeing, but people got to realize they make their decisions based off of data. They're not just winging it in gut instinct. They're saying, "Oh, 40% less people started playing this. Oh, only 1% of our population is doing this over and over and over. We probably need to make a change." Not to defend them here, but just like any business, you're looking at data. What are people, not the 3 people on Twitter freaking out at them. What are the actual people playing the game doing?
I actually watched this video the other day about No Man's Sky. I don't know if you guys. You're a sci-fi kind of genre fan, right? So No Man's Sky, what they did was the guy or the people working there, all the devs categorized the complaints from people who never played the game, complaints from people who actually played the game, and so forth. So yeah, they do, devs, game devs in general, do look at the data, like you said, and ZOS does the same thing, right? And they can see a lot more than we can. But I think some people's gripe with that was the data may not be completely unbiased. Again, with the whole deathmatch thing and dark conversions, new world, the timing of it.
Yeah,
so I think that's what some people have griped with. But beyond that, yeah, I understand that the devs are not winging it, right? Hopefully. Yeah.
The same thing with the Matt Fryer, I can't say his name.
Matt Fear.
Yeah, him coming out with the strong PvP server take.
Oh, what's your opinion on that?
My opinion was like, it was interesting it wasn't him. He didn't throw Rich to jump on a grenade like usual. And so, I mean, and people don't know this, but Rich and I used to go PvP together. And he's not like completely opposed. And I don't want to put words in the man's mouth, but he PvP'd with some sweat lords back in the day. So at least they were being honest. Okay? Right. But it needs to actually happen this time. You know, I have the footage in one of the videos I did. It was like 2013. Nick Conkle, do you remember him saying, "Oh, if you had latency in a shooter, you just put it down. Our game's not going to have that." Essentially, paraphrasing.
Right.
Well, here we are. So I take Cyrodiil for what it is, but I'm glad they actually just said, "Yo, it's probably not going to be fixed this entire year. We're going to need a massive overhaul, and we're going to invest a massive amount of money into this." And it's like, I think the reason why is, it's bleeding over into PvE now. It's not isolated just to Cyrodiil being laggy. That's how I experience it.
Yeah, Annie, I don't know if you know Annie, but he's another endgame PvPer. He's told me the same thing, that it's bleeding into PvE or other parts of the game. Like, the houses are lagging, apparently, according to him, or at least for him. So, yeah, I can see that, yeah.
I mean, it's hit and miss.
It's a huge game.
When Markarth came out, that was lag in Trials was terrible. To the point where like whole raid teams were just crashing. And I think a lot of raid teams took like a 3 or 4 week break. Just it was so bad.
I mean, Herostorm was worse because desynced. Everything was desynced. Nothing was where it was on your screen for anybody. So, yeah, I agree with you, LT. Probably bleeding over.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. And they said it was kind of they kind of contradict each other. Gina 2 days before said, "Hey, there's going to be no changes to Battlegrounds." 2 days later, he comes out and says, "We might have a weekly event, or seasonal, or rule sets, or weekend." I forget exactly how it's phrased. It's like, well, what changed in 2 days? You should have been doing this the whole time. Right. Us PvPers, if you got double AP on the weekends, dude, just like Destiny with the Trials of Osiris or whatever, you live for those. You're just so fired up, and whether you're good or bad, it's just fun to get in there, and like you get that rush of, oh, it's the weekend, double AP, I'm going berserk, I'm playing all day. That's not development stuff. That's not like going to cost you a gazillion hours of development time. It's very simple things. It's like, why haven't you been doing this the whole time? Every other game does that sort of stuff.
Yep.
So if they actually follow up on it, great. You gotta actually do it. You can't keep over-promising, under-delivering. You gotta do it. So do something, give us a little bit to show you're trying to do it, and then let us help you with the servers. That's what it takes to get a whole server pop locked on the PTS. We'll do it. But if it's legit and it gets solved, this game will be flooded with PvP. You cannot beat Cyrodiil. It's the Ruby Throne. If you're a legit Elder Scrolls fan, the thought of you becoming the emperor and going around smoking up everybody and just dominating, dunking on everyone, it's so fun. Taking those it's Lord of the Rings, it's Mordor. You just, and you get the social aspect of it too. Oh, that's so-and-so's guild. They're a bunch of crappers, blah, blah. We're going to dunk on them. That's idiotic Delta. Yeah. Let's go gank them when that happens a bit. But it's the fun social aspect where I don't get that necessarily out of Trials. I never got that connection per se, like I did. Maybe it's the army and me when you're going against other human beings, but that social connection of just sitting around doing Cyrodiil, whether you're the best or you're a Zergling or you're what, you get that social aspect in there. It's something that the game has unique that I've never experienced in another one at this same level.
Okay. Yeah, I understand that.
Yeah.
But going back to the whole re-architecting the server thing, I understand a lot of people are very skeptical considering the year, right? And I have some insight from not just like seeing what devs are saying on Twitter, but also as one of the class reps, you know, having gained a lot of insight into like how really complicated all this is, game development wise. And a lot of people seem to think that, I don't know why, that they can do it this year, which is like, I think yeah, exactly, totally unrealistic. I think it's gonna be a minimum of like 2 years for sure.
Yeah, I mean, at least a minimum of 1 year.
Right, but I don't know, like that inadvertently means like no PvP, nothing for 1 to 2 years maybe, which is, I don't know, like, does that like, how does that make you feel? Because all the PvPers for past how many years, 4 years, whatever, they've been asking for something new for PvP, something. But
what
now,
could they do? I mean, besides like a battle royale or something, they already have really good systems. You need to go back and incentivize them and just tone it up and like double AP, the rewards, mid-year mayhem. Just do something, add to. Maybe the Voldrum was a bad idea because it lagged it even more and stuff. So maybe not even touching Cyrodiil per se. But the Battlegrounds and Imperial City, that might be much easier. But I don't know what else they could do. And to be frankly, with PvPers, including myself, is this game started out, in my opinion, as a PvP game. You remember the buffs?
I remember. It was objectively.
Yes.
Objectively, it was PvP. I don't know why these. I'm a PvEer now, right? But I don't know why these PvEers are saying, "Oh, you PvPers, go away, quit the game. This isn't a PvP game." I'm just thinking to myself, bro, this was the P. I came here because of PvP.
Yep.
I PvP'd until 2016, right?
Yeah.
Like, people don't understand. Yeah. And so again, yeah. Go on. Sorry.
It's a PvE game. It's primarily exploration, farting around and questing. Let's be real here. And you have to face that fact that it's just not their priority. Even still, I'm a consumer. You have PvP elements in your game. Even if you neglect it, you can't just forget about it completely. So I understand the server is very complicated. Great. There's many, many other things you can do to show your consumers, your customers, that it matters, because it does matter. Look at what happened when New World launched. And ZOS did react to it with some events and some other things. So they're not oblivious to, oh, we lost a gazillion people because they checked out a PvP dominant game. Another video I made, I'm like, look, the top 10, 11, 12 games on Twitch, what are they? They're PvP. They're very, very popular. So yes, I know this game is not manifested in that. Yes, I know Final Fantasy is predominantly this. But this game's foundation, the buffs you got in PvE were, and now tell me, that was so fun. Probably not for endgame trials people, but at night, the servers would light up. All the trials people would go sweep, blue or, yellow out, whatever they need to do, and then they go do trials. You had these massive, and those servers, you remember, there's probably 7 servers up.
Oh, yeah.
Pop lock.
I remember the list. And it just slowly grew shorter and shorter and shorter.
Now look at it.
Now it's
Even Grey Host on NA is not. I'm like, the other day it was like 7 p.m. I'm like, it's not pop locked.
Oh yeah.
And then you go in, and it's just a weird difference between EU and NA, where you go in there and everyone. I go in there. There's not one fight going on. There's not one outpost being taken, not one keep being taken. That's another thing think they need incentives for Cyrodiil, is actually taking keeps. Yes, you get AP. But everyone just turtles up in their keep the vast majority of the time.
Right.
It's like, what's your drive and incentive to go? And if you stomp someone, you're almost like opposed to actually going and stomping someone on a keep defense because they just log off. It's just like, all right, wait. It's like, all right, here you can have this one. All right, and then they'll play for another hour or something. But yeah, Cyrodiil, I'm gonna go on a rant about it. It's just PvP in general. I don't think that server stuff's gonna happen anytime soon. I love it. It just needs a little bit more incentives and a little bit love, and just something in the recent future, just a weekend reward, double AP. Okay, you're serious about actually doing this. Roger that. We'll take it.
Okay. Do you have any? So we're kind of still on this like path of you coming back to the game. So do you have any like impressions of how the game changed socially, at least for PvP?
Socially?
Yeah, like
I think there's way less organized guilds, and some people are like, oh no, there's ball groups. Yes, there's ball groups.
There's like one per campaign or something.
Yeah. And before there was a plethora of organized groups, whether they're casual, super sweaty, or in between. And now it's almost like you have very casual and a ball group. And people just hop factions and they hop campaigns trying to find the average players, frankly. And it's almost predominantly just Zerg surfing solo players. You don't really see generals and commanders like you used to, where so-and-so was online. You're like, yep, we're going to that keep. So-and-so's guild's going to be there. That's the social element I missed, where you're like, oh God, that guild's on. I remember, what's it called? Havoc. These guys steamrolled me. They farmed the hell out of me. I got to be honest with you.
Was it EP Havoc?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, I remember.
So good. Like Bloodspawn came out every one day. One on their guild had Bloodspawn, and they were just, and they had like rapid. I mean, they were farming little Puglet Delta. I swear to God, 75 little poor DC were just getting. But that's what I miss. It's like these people, they're like walking gods, man. They're just shredding the entire faction. But that's the social element of like, and then you start playing with them or knowing them, and then, oh, they're just human beings, you know? And I love that social element of these huge commanders. And you saw them going against another equally equipped blue guild. People just let them go at it because you're like, I got to see these titans clash. Where now I just don't really see that. I see it a bit more on EU. You see people tabbered up and all that.
Yeah. You could probably name like a handful of players that play regularly, but it's not as big as it was before, for sure.
Oh, and then real quick, before I forget, how I know this is when I would go to do like tier 1 campaign rewards, and it would be like, okay, I played for 30 minutes, I get tier 1. And I look at my campaign score, and it would be like, you're 100th.
Yeah.
So you're telling me in the Elder Scrolls Online, there's basically 100 DC players playing this? Yeah. That's how small it really is.
Yeah. I remember it used to be like 800, 900, 1,000 back in the day.
100. 30 minutes. Wow. Okay. So you don't have any diversity because it's the exact same people that play every single day. And it's too bad. It's a great part of the game. But socially, I just miss the organized groups because this is the only game really where I think Cypher made this happen, where it's cool to be a solo player. Every other game I played competitively, who gives a damn what your solo ranked is? What's your group ranked? You know, if you got a 4-player sweat group and you're on top, you're considered the best team in the game. But here it's like 1vx. I get it. That's impressive and cool. But, you know, the army doesn't ask whoever they're going up against, hey, how many people do you have? Let's make sure it's fair. Let's duel, bro. We're dropping nukes on you. We got planes. We got drones. We got, you know, infantry. We'll kick the door down. We'll do whatever it takes to win. And I just missed when the population was higher. I don't remember what the server population was. It felt way higher. I mean,
yeah, it definitely.
There was fights everywhere on the map. Oh, we got so-and-so's guild down here at Brindle. So-and-so's here. And next thing you know, it'd be 12 hours gone. It'd be like Skyrim. You go from quest to quest to quest. You're like, oh God, it's 4 a.m. I gotta get to sleep.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. I think you can do it though. I reckon you can be the flag bearer for Zerodead.
Oh God.
You're gonna get all the people in. You know, have your open invite string.
We do that. We do that. No. We do.
Good.
Actually, on Fridays, I type in Nugget.
Okay.
Nugget Nation is a funny silly. Yeah. So I go
EU or NA?
NA, but we could do EU. And so we'll go, all right, we're going to do Follower Friday. You're welcome to join, type in Nugget. Last Friday was an absolute riot. AD didn't care if they lost a scroll, every home keep. They were not going to let us have rollback. But it was fun. We lost, but it was just toe-to-toe for a couple hours, just beating our heads against row. And everyone on AD was there. Everyone was on DC. And there's a sweet spot on the server where It's right before prime time where the population's high enough to have good fights, but it's not laggy.
No laggy.
Right.
It's just 2 to 3 hours of like, oh my God, so much fun. So it does happen from time to time. You have these epic fights, man. Whether you lose or not, you're like, God, that was just a blast.
Yeah.
Now I'm getting fired up. I want to go play or something.
You should.
Let's do it. Let's do it.
But yeah, I think you're right. The social element, or at least from my perspective, and I know you've disagreed with me at least in the past on Twitter recently. That, in my opinion, like the social element has either it's gone or it's completely changed. And I just don't feel or even see us, like the community really. It's all just kind of scattered, in my opinion. And a lot of the older or endgame players have left. And what's taking their place now is just a bunch of, people with really shitty behaviors. And that's just kind of like, I don't know, it's really weird to me. And I just don't vibe with that. And, even other PvPers I've been talking to, they just don't vibe with that either. So they've stopped PvPing, right? I understand that there's like people passionate about the game and PvP still, but man, it's... Because when I ask like newer players, why don't you PvP, or like even other PvEers I know, why don't you PvP? They say two things. They say, I don't know where to start. And they say, I think those guys are too toxic for me to handle. So I think the perception has changed as well because the social element has changed. And that's what I meant. I don't know.
Yeah,
right now it's just really weird.
The little pockets of the community, I think there's no hub. There's no ESO, you or somewhere for everyone to go. It's kind of little pockets of discords. I don't necessarily get the whole toxic behavior. Now, people might not do it because they think I'm in Zos's pocket or something. I'm going to report them and get them banned or something.
Stream of privilege, you're going to get them
which
banned.
is not true. But, I mean, I'll get a hate whisper here and there, like you're garbage or something, but...
That's typical.
I think you get that in any PvP.
Yeah.
You get that online, so...
And there's plenty of PvEers that are toxic. Like, oh my God, your DPS is low, you're trash, you're not going to... Human beings are human beings.
Exactly.
There's some good ones and some bad ones, but the not knowing where to start, I think that's 100%. And some people do take it way too seriously. They twink out level, 30 characters and go melt everybody. It's like, bro, if you really want to go do it, go with the big boys, girls, You don't have to ruin everyone's experience. But the player base is just so small that that's pretty much who you encounter now. It's not a huge bell curve with the vast majority of the people in the middle as good human beings that just like to do it for fun. Don't take it too serious. Now it's almost skewed where the middle is like the sweat lords because that's all you do anymore. But yeah, I don't know how we fix it. I think New World really opened my eyes to that PvP is very popular and people are seeking a PvP game. And I get that they moved away from it, but if they do some incentives and really work on the server, it could bring a lot of people back. And because people are just craving it, the old school MMOs, the Warhammer Onlines, the Ultima Onlines, the high risk, high reward PvP, it's people want that. They crave it. But otherwise, I think the MMO is doing fantastic. It's just crushing it.
Are you looking forward to the next big update?
So I'm looking forward if there's dungeons and trials.
Okay.
I again don't do all the story and stuff like that. So the Deadlands was really cool. I was actually forced into doing the story by the mythic hunting.
Okay.
Doing
I was like,
I
thought you said you were gonna say I was actually forced by it. Forced by Zos to do it.
Oh, no.
Paid sponsorship to do it.
Hey, I'll do it. Yeah. You want me to do quest? I will hype up quest. It will be the most hype quest ever. No, but the Deadlands was really cool. But I'm like, what am I gonna go do? I could even solo these roving bosses. So, So it'll probably be that. But I love their dungeons. Those are that's my PvE element because I don't have a lot of people to do those big trials, but I love those super hard, 3 hard modes, secret bosses, dungeons. I can't wait for that. If that's a part of it, I don't know. What do you guys think?
That's usually like quarter 2 and quarter 4 or something, the dungeons.
You think so? I thought that was
Right.
quarter 1, isn't it? Last year was
Quarter 2 is chapter, Ollie.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know what order they do them in. They
What?
do like 2 dungeon packs a year. A big
Yeah,
update.
dungeon, chapter, dungeon, quality of life.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
There we go.
It's been like that since Morrowind, 2017.
Okay.
Has it been that long?
It's been that long. It's
That's
crazy.
crazy. I wonder what
Oh,
theme
man.
they're gonna do. I got that medallion. That medallion's sick.
Yeah, I got it too, and the letter, and you know, so I bet my Twitch chat and many other people, that because I thought it was gonna be a Redguard themed chapter, right? Because they said, you know, they had all these like hints.
Redguard.
Yeah, like a like a playable race that's never really been explored before,
Okay.
right? And then once that letter and medallion, they're like, oh my god, it's Braden themed. And if it's Braden themed, I had to shave my head. I don't think I don't think it's Braden themed though, Deltia. I don't think it's Braden themed.
But
It's too easy. It's just too easy because they said something you don't expect, and I'm just
that
like,
has to be Breton though.
no, come
Yeah, the guy in
on.
the trailer was wearing,
The
like, Breton
armor.
heavy armor.
Yeah. That. You should do shave eyebrows. That's what you do. That's where you really put the money on the line. Rock around, shave eyebrows for 2 months.
Dude, on this Thursday, I'm gonna stream watching me watching it live, and if it's Brendan, I'll just shave my hair on
Shave it.
stream. On
Do you
stream.
think they're gonna tell us just the dungeons, or they'll do the kind of a hint at the chapter?
I think they'll do a bit of everything
Yeah.
for sure.
I wonder if there'll be any new game mode, like antiquities or new system, this year.
Yeah. I mean, what did we have last year? Companions?
Yeah, companions, which I didn't care for.
I don't think a lot of people. I mean, I think some. I don't know. It's hard to say.
They'll come out with another companion.
Yeah, probably another
Yeah,
companion.
it better be
Yeah.
a Templar. Damn it. Have major mending.
True. Watch it have the old Templar passives. just to spite you. Yeah,
Templar called,
the
like,
shard
Nugget.
stuns because of major mending. Oh my god.
It's a redhead. It's a ginger. Oh, sauce, you bastards!
But new system. I would love for them to add life to the game with game systems. Like you go to a tavern, you play dice or like cards,
Oh.
or chess,
Yeah,
or
sure.
a board
Yeah,
game.
yeah.
That'd be cool. I mean, they have the
Yeah.
template for that already with the scrying antiquity kind of thing, kind of.
You mean like mini games?
Yeah,
Type
mini
thing?
games. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's the word I was looking for. That'd be cool.
That would be really cool. Yeah, something like it, like The Witcher.
Yeah.
That one. Their mini games, like I just sit.
Poker dice thing. Yeah.
Just so fun. I don't know what it was. Hey, that could be PvP. A poker in the. There you go, PvP. Shut up. You got poker.
I'd play the hell out of ESO poker. That would be great.
Oh yeah.
Oh, dude, we would be betting gold.
What about a
on that.
duo arena?
A duel arena.
Oh yeah, I'd love that as well.
Two
yeah.
people instead of like because their arenas are amazing. I do love them. I know Dragonstar probably hasn't aged that well, but the solo arena,
Okay.
the
Yeah.
solo arena aspect, Maelstrom and Battlestram, I love going in there. I play it just all the time.
I mean,
Mm.
I've done 2-person VDSA back in the day, and I think it took 9 hours.
Oh jeez. Yeah, back in the day it was tough.
Yeah, we did it on Magsorks with pets, and we were just hoping that the pets would like tank the stuff. Yeah. Well, I mean, you can kind of do 2-person arenas now, I guess, if you bring a companion with you.
We did. We actually beat VDSA with Bastion tanking just to kind of
Yeah.
see. It actually didn't work too bad. I mean, the last round he basically faced down, but we basically 3-personed it. So
Yeah.
Yeah,
If they designed one that's specifically for 2 people, that would be better. It'd probably work better.
it'd be great for new players too, because then you could use your companions. You incentivize folks to use companions in there or something.
True.
But I don't know. I think that's my wish list, because I doubt PvP is going to get anything. But I'd love to see more arenas and dungeons. They do great jobs in those.
I mean, a lot of people have suggested that maybe naval combat, because there was some like.
God,
bows in
no
the
way,
trailer,
no
like,
fucking way.
no
Everyone's
way.
saying spellcrafting or new class, naval
Well,
combat,
crafting.
and I'm just like,
Yeah, fuck.
get out of here, man. Just get out of here.
Yeah,
Exactly.
Morrowind.
Oh shit.
Yeah, I can't see any huge new systems like that, because I think you'd have to design the engine from the ground up to do that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think my only wish for this year is no more item sets, man. Please, no more item sets.
Oh no. Oh no,
Please.
we're getting mythics, we're getting monsters.
Oh my
yeah.
god. Because we've kind of, both the devs and players have kind of dug ourselves into this hole where the expected reward isn't just, mounts or whatever, it's item sets, right? I mean, thinking about what comes with the dungeon DLCs or trial, right? Why do you do that? Item sets. And, I work on the ESOU website, and we have a skills browser, a sets browser. There are 522 entries in the sets browser that I have to look over and edit. 522.
There's 522 shits. Like, does that include mythics, or is that just 5?
That includes mythics, craftables, Zerodead item sets.
There's legit over 500.
There's 522 entries. 522 entries. That's 522 item sets. That includes everything. The 3-piece sets, the 5-piece sets, the mythics, the monster sets. Think about that. They added 3 new monster sets, obviously. I just can't do this anymore.
Well, that's what I was saying. Like that's what is disorienting for new players.
I know.
It's good for content creators, but
not really. Even for content creators, it's like I can't. Like, there's so much data. So much.
Last year was tough. Last year was I got burnt out towards like quarter 3. I'm like, you know what? Y'all can have the PTS videos and stuff. I'm just done with the hybrid stuff. I'm just done with it.
Yeah.
And Dark Convergence hit. And yeah.
You could have a fun party game though. You could like say a name and guess whether it's a set or not.
Dude, there's so many sets that are so similar to each other. I don't even know, or like even just things you may not.
Now they can't just do the stat increases. They have to one up each other, and you'll notice the sets are like PhD novels and what they do. Dark Convergence is like about as long as Moby Dick. Like what does one thing? Let me write this down. 2 things. Okay, 5 things. It does 5 things. It's a 5-piece set. Oh yeah, this is balance.
Yeah,
man. Yeah, I hopefully they don't add any more item sets, but I know they will. They have to though.
Oh, you have to.
Because the players, we expect that now. It's our only incentive now. Honestly.
What monster helms are they going to come out with though? Because they've done tank ones. Have they done a healer one? Magma Incarnate.
They have Symphony. They have Sentinel.
But then each monster set, they can sell the style pages on the Crown Store. They can't stop them.
I don't know.
What are they going to do with monsters? That's what I'm like. Are they going to go with PvP one or?
I have no idea. I mean, I feel like they're also running out of ideas at this point too for item sets.
I think only half of the IC bosses have a monster helm, so I guess they should be doing the other half of them.
Oh boy.
Oh, good idea.
Oh boy.
Yeah, Zols is a lot of fun. I love that one. And to be fair, they had added a lot of stuff to Imperial City. They constantly try to expand the things you can buy. Telbar, they added monster helms. That's one area that has received a lot of attention, if I'm being honest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, instead of item sets, what would you want as a player?
Let's see. I think fashion is amazing. So you want the motifs.
The cosmetics.
A lot of people, they do the housing, regardless if they're really good PvEers, PvPers. Just the housing stuff goes over well. The mementos go well. Costumes, I love costumes, not just motifs, but like really cool costumes. Titles, the Dreaded or whatever, the Incarnate, those are kind of cool titles.
Yeah.
It goes back to mounts. You gotta have a big flex mount. What else? Yeah, good question. I'm thinking about other previous games. What was the big draw?
I think we're on the right path here in terms of rewards and cosmetics. People still buy carry runs for Vet Fanglair for that worm personality. What is it like?
It's all about just showing off, though, really, isn't it? In an MMO,
it's like 4 years after the dungeon came out, people are still paying gold for people to carry them.
What do you mean in an MMO? It's life. Yeah, you got to have your Tesla and drink your Starbucks and just flex, big flex on everybody.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I think we're on the right track here.
Yeah, I think we're on the right track. Well, got to have something to do beyond the gear grind because they've made it easier, And I'm gonna probably max out my sticker book in a couple weeks with those new dungeons. I'll just run them over and over. I'll carry people through that need the gear and stuff. That's what I like to do is get a team and like not pay or charge anyone or anything, but just like someone who's not proficient at combat, just they're death flopping the whole way through, but you get them monster helm, they're super grateful. I get a kick out of that.
I think people would pay to play with you. I reckon you could do it.
Yeah.
I'd pay to play.
Yeah,
I've done it. I've charged people to play with me.
Yeah, I'd pay to play with you, dude. 100K per hour. Wait, is this prostitution?
I charge people $100, and they could come and play with my raid team. I went to charity.
Oh, dude, I remember Gilliam, or was it you or Gilliam who did that, Deltia?
Me and Gil, we would
the
coach
100
money.
Yeah, exactly. The coaching. That was legit.
That's
people,
cool. Yeah, I mean,
people did it, right?
People
if there's
pay
a market for it, why not?
Yeah.
It doesn't hurt anyone.
Sure.
And ironically, I'm still in touch with most of those people, and they really progressed. So it's free market.
Sure.
You want to pay me for your time? I can be doing YouTube videos, website stuff. I'm not running a soup kitchen. I'm trying to put my son through medical school.
Hell yeah.
Whatever it takes, man. Let's go.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Till I burn myself out again. Oh wait, gotta slow down. Back to part one.
You got another Templar to bury or something.
Oh god.
What are you burying next, man?
I mean, he's
DK.
DK.
What's your main character, Nephis? Is it
I don't really have one.
you don't have like your first love or nothing like that?
No.
I would have thought you were
Strangely
DK
enough,
tank,
I just-
surely.
Well, that's just kind of my main character, quote unquote main, because it just happens to have the most achievement points at this time. That's it.
Ollie, what about you?
Yeah, I got Magicka DK. It's my
Magic
main.
DK, okay.
Mag DK?
Yeah. Then I only play it for like 2 weeks at the beginning of every patch to get all the achievements, and then it goes back in a locker.
Okay.
And then I just play whatever's the meta.
Huh.
Aren't they the highest DPS right now? Mag DKs?
Kind of.
Yeah. But I've got all the achievements on it, so I have no incentive whatsoever to play it.
Keep playing it.
Yeah. I try and get all the achievements on every character. Of course, I'm nowhere near on other characters, but like, if there's a no death hard mode speedrun, I'll try and get it on every character. I have a spreadsheet. It's almost full.
I have a spreadsheet.
That's
good.
I don't know how much more time you have, Deltia.
Yeah, I got about 5 more minutes, and then
minutes,
we
okay.
went.
Yeah,
Thanks for
okay.
being flexible. We went.
Oh yeah, no
sledding
problem,
this
no
morning.
problem. I guess quick
Get
last
some questions in.
Yeah, quick last question though. Like, where do you? It sounds like really generic, or you know what I mean. But like, you've made such a strong return to ESO, or like to content creation in general. I mean, you got Twitch partner, really fast. I think Twitch and Coca-Cola sponsored you
Yeah.
recently. That's really
Yeah.
cool to see, man.
Yeah.
I was so happy to see that because I was like, oh my god, you know what I mean.
Free
And-
Coke, yeah.
Well,
For sure.
and I mean, you just made an outstanding comeback. Like, what's your next direction? I guess. I guess just expanding more and slowly.
Expanding slowly and just trying to constantly improve. You know, we can always have these big overarching goals and spreadsheets,
Mhm.
but it's day by day. It's day by day, getting the most out of each and every day, kind of looking at what's on the horizon, but no plan survives contact with the enemy. As soon as you make a plan, you start executing it, something will change. Like pandemic will happen, something will happen externally. You got to be able to shift and move when it's called to do so. So I'm going to go all systems forward, just trying to provide the best value and entertainment on stream. You know, be myself, just have a good old time doing the YouTube videos, trying to get concise.
Mhm.
How can I get this out concise? And then obviously try to play other games like Starfield. I might try Elden Ring and something like that. But until something really hits me, I don't care what's popular and what's meta. Until something hits me like a hammer, I'm just going to keep playing Elder Scrolls Online and doing my thing and see how long that goes. But collabs with other people, you know, we could do something. But that's been a lot of fun, collaborating with people inside the game, outside the game, because, you know, the tide raises all ships. And we can all grow together. Look at Cypher, Fangrush,
Right.
Alka. We all grew up together. So I think that's good. And ESO is thriving. It ain't going nowhere. But I think we need to represent it and take it to the next level and get more people time and attention with it. Because if you look at it, just doesn't do very well on Twitch. In comparison to other, I mean, Final Fantasy, just melting it like butter. But yeah, just mainly doing the same thing. And the number one priority for me is being a father, being a husband, being a citizen, and keeping my mind right. I know what happened when I got off the rails again. This is a marathon. I have to remind myself that is, you can get a guide out tonight, you can do this and that, but if you feel like crap, then you're going to make bad decisions, and it's going to be this endless cycle where I tailspin out, and we got another Templar burial video. It's Deltia burial video. You don't need
Deltia burial.
Carry yourself. Yeah, that's the next one.
And I like to focus on being grateful. And, you know, just there's this little lake I walk around. And I usually spend about an hour doing that, where I'm like, man, you got a second chance, a third or fourth or whatever I'm on now. So many people never even get sniff that. You got to be grateful for where you are right now, regardless of how big it gets. Don't take for granted everyone's time and attention they're giving you, hard-earned money. You're living the dream, dude. If you would go back to when you were a kid struggling in school to learn and read and write, and you could say, this is your life. At 37-year-old, this is your life. I wouldn't have been able to believe it. I wouldn't have been able to believe it. It's not possible. Here I am. So, and just one day at a time, man. Just take it one day at a time, and yeah. So I hope that's the truth. But it's gonna be a good year for ESO, and hopefully other games, and check out Starfield. But I don't see anything else on the horizon for me that strikes me. But you never know.
For me, it's Ashes of Creation.
That's like about 2 years out, though, ain't it?
Yeah, at least. Oh, we do have some questions from Twitch chat before you go. No button VMA win.
Who asked that?
Ledage.
Oh, no, but okay. Do I have to no death it, or is it? Can I? So I'll just do a lightning sork. Do I have to complete it, or is it no death?
I think probably complete it.
Okay, no button. All right, that's on the to-do list. Okay.
okay. What's your favorite color?
Oh, come on, purple. Purple. That's my brand.
How could you not know?
Yeah, first time I saw Maximus in Gladiator, and I saw those purple Roman soldiers. That's it. Color royalty. Let's go.
What keeps Deltia so hyped every time he plays? I love his energy.
Just my morning routine.
Okay.
Yep. I wake up early, ride the bike, hang out with my son, take out the dog, mess with the dogs. I just crank up music, and I just exercise, and it just fills me up. It's my morning routine. Perfect.
Okay. That's pretty cool. Deltia, I have a friend. Let's call him Red. If he was to go on a bro day with you, where would you want to go? What would you want to do? What would you call him after? What is this question?
A bro date?
Yeah, bro date.
What's like a date with a friend? Let's see. What would we do?
I don't know.
That's an odd one. Probably watch some football, hang out, watch a movie. Go to my lake, go exercise.
Cuddle a little bit.
Yeah, afterwards. Have some Five Guys, and that's pretty much, that's a good day in my book.
Yeah, sounds good.
Ask him how long he's been a Kansas City fan.
Oh, I'm bandwagon. Yeah, I'm bandwagon.
Is that the Kansas City Chiefs?
Yeah, Kansas City Chiefs.
I actually had a friend who signed up with them.
Signed with them? Like to play?
Yeah.
Wow.
A while ago. I don't know if he's still with them. I haven't really checked in with them recently. Is there any talk amongst the streamer crowd to attend real-life events now that the pandemic is winding down and real-life events are likely to start to show up?
Yeah, TwitchCon is in October. I'll probably go to that. I was thinking about having a NugCon, like just people. I kept bringing it up. I'm like, is that BS? And like maybe like do it in the middle part of the country or Las Vegas, but it's. I'm not a very good traveler, but I would like to do it. I'm more of a homebody, but yeah, I think I remember TwitchCon the first time. My wife actually came out, met Gina and all them, and it was one of the best experiences of our life. So yeah. We'll make time to do something.
Yeah. I'm planning to meet up with some streamers at PAX East in Boston this April.
When's that?
April.
April? What
20,
date?
21 to 24, somewhere around there. And then TwitchCon, roughly, I don't think we got official confirmation yet, but October-ish, I believe, in San Diego.
Are you from California, or where are you from?
I'm in Pennsylvania right now.
Oh, geez, that's a flight.
I'm on the East Coast. Yeah. Actually, funny story, and this might make me sound really creepy, but I lived in Iowa for a few years, and me and my ex, we visited a good ESO friend of ours in Oklahoma. And I was like, is this where Deltia lives?
I live in Nebraska.
Or sorry, not Oklahoma. Sorry, Nebraska. We went to did we go
Did
to
you go to
Nebraska?
Nebraska? No.
Dude, I don't remember. It was one of the two.
Same thing, really.
Same thing, really. Just cornfields.
tornadoes,
Yeah, just plains. I don't know. It was probably Nebraska. I think it was Nebraska. Yeah, it was Nebraska. It was Nebraska. Next to Iowa, somewhere around there. Yeah.
That's crazy. Small world,
Yeah, I was
man.
like, yeah, and I was like, man, is Delta here?
I got recognized by the pizza guy. That's my claim to fame.
Damn.
Yeah,
That's what you won.
that's when you're big time. Pizza guy's like, you Deltia? Like from DeltiasGaming.com, brother?
Yeah.
Did you just ordered loads of nuggets or something? Like, was that the clue?
Yeah, he shows up with like tons of chicken. This is the first order we've got with 100 chicken nuggets, by the way.
Damn. Oh, but yeah, speaking of your idea of NugCon or NuggetCon.
Yeah.
I also had a similar idea, potentially for this year, maybe even next year. Like, just do like our own meetup.
Yeah, we should do an own ESO.
Yeah, we should do our own ESO convention.
not?
Like, I was thinking, maybe we can rent out like a big place, like a mansion or something, and everyone chips in. It would either be
London.
like middle of the country or East Coast, somewhere around there. Like middle, probably middle.
Colorado.
Colorado. I was thinking exactly the same thing.
Dude, Colorado is
for various reasons. Yeah.
Oh, various reasons.
Yeah,
I see what you did there. No, yeah, Denver is an international airport, very easy to get in and out of. There's probably plenty of little local spots. Yeah, you do it.
We should plan it. Hopefully,
July, August would probably be really good. Be beautiful weather out there. You don't have to worry about snow. Travel's good. Right after 4th of July.
We have to like look into like a place to rent out for everybody, right? Are we everything like a party or like a 3-day thing or
it's a bender. It's a 3-day bender.
Oh hell yeah!
We have to have ESO hikes and
ESO hikes.
You have to go. We need a bull pit.
All right, I'm down.
Yep. Yeah, Denver 2022. That would be cool. I wonder if the developers would come.
Dude, I'll ask them.
Invite a Rich Lambert out, be like, let's go sort it up in PvP on our laptops, even though we're in Colorado on vacation.
Dude, after this podcast, I'll ask them straight up. I'll ask other ESO streamers too. I'll be like, hey, do you want to do something with me, Deltia, and Ollie?
Yes, just say ESO Con.
Yeah, dude, I want an ESO Con.
First annual.
Yeah, screw QuakeCon. No one plays Quake anymore. Come on, ESO Con.
But yeah, I think that's pretty much all the questions we have for today.
Cool,
people really appreciate you coming in and really enjoyed just listening to you for sure from what I saw in chat.
Appreciate you having me on, and we'll have to do it again sometime. And if you're serious about ESO Con,
I am. I'm very serious. No, I'm super. Oh, you're laughing, but I'm really super serious. I've been wanting to do this for a while.
I'm sure there's viewers and people that are in the ESO world that would have a business or could, hook us, do a homie hookup on stuff because it wouldn't cost. Oh yeah, there's tons of people watching me every day. We say where you're from, and there's a gazillion people in Colorado.
Yeah, I'm down. I'm serious for sure. I'll hit up people about it for sure.
It's driving distance for us hillbillies in the land of corn, so we're good.
I have to fly.
Pennsylvania, oh god.
You ever been?
I'll have to swim.
Pennsylvania, no, I haven't. I've been to Baltimore, obviously, and some other East Coast place, New Jersey. That's one place I didn't go very much on the East Coast. Everywhere else in the country I've been.
Okay. Yeah, it's cold.
All right, gentlemen. Well, I'm going to head out. Watch the Chiefs tonight.
Yep.
Hey, appreciate you having me on.
Have a good one. Thank you so much for coming on. See you, Deltia. See you, Ollie.
Cheerio.
Everybody else, thanks for